Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony Picks Morning Show. I'm Tony T. We're ready to give you guys live free picks here from today's card from college football, the NBA 10-game card that's single from the NHL. And join me today is Rod. We'll say hello to Rod, and I promise you we'll get right to the picks. Rod, what's happening?
Well, not too much. I had a good day on the ice. Nice winning day on the ice, and my lone play in the NBA did not go through. I was on the Timberwolves, and the Lakers got it done. Looked good in that one. Looks like Minnesota needs a little bit more time to gel with their new pieces, but they don't look horrible. So still big bright things for Minnesota moving forward. Congratulations to the Lakers, the Knicks. Ooh.
Well, it's funny. It's funny. The two teams of continuity won yesterday, right? The Celtics brought them back, and the Lakers brought them back. Maybe the thing to do early on in the season.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like, right? In those first two games, it looks like teams that didn't change a whole lot, maybe just added a couple pieces to their already roster that was looking good. Hey, maybe we see an improvement with the Lakers going forward. It sure looks like it. They looked all right yesterday, but AD looks healthy, so I think that's the big thing when AD is healthy for the Lakers. Yeah, watch out.
Yep, we'll see how it rolls here in the season. Of course, Ronnie got a few minutes in there. They had to do that for him, so they got into it. So, looking forward to the NBA season. We'll get to the coverage here with 10 games. We'll start. Of course, what gets the most handle will be college football. Even though we got Conference USA games, believe it or not, people love the football here, Ross. So we got two doozies here for us here. Oh. Liberty and Kennesaw State. Of course, I will tell you, I did miss with my premium. I had La Tech laying the points, and they didn't get enough. You give up 10 points, you think you covered that game against UTEP. You just got 14. That just tells you about this conference.
See, it's all motivation. This conference. It's whether the team wants to play or not, and La Tech is one of those.
FIU got the cover, but I couldn't trust them in the premium role. But basically because of La Tech's home, the way they played home, and UTEP's lost every road game by double digits. That was my angle there.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason for things to happen in sports, but it is what it is. So, on to these two gems. Ooh, gem of the game.
Two gems of the games. Here we go. Conference USA. Here we go. I'm taking a shallow. For me, I'm taking a shallow dive. No premiums for me on Mason this week. Today. Liberty, Kennesaw State, Middle Tennessee, Jacksonville State. Rod.
Yeah, I'm looking at these teams, and you look. I don't know. Liberty should be able to just run it right up on Kennesaw, and I think it could be 42-0. The way I look at that game, and at 25.5, though, do you want to lay 25.5? Liberty should run it up, but do they run it up? We've looked what Liberty done. They played FIU last. I think they're off their bye, right? So Liberty should really be rested, but they played FIU last game, and it was 31-24. Nowhere near. They should have whooped up on FIU, and they've all been close games. Winning by 25, I don't see that happening at all. They couldn't even beat the Camels by 25.5 in that one. Actually, wait, it was 26 points. They beat the Camels by, and now you're gonna try to beat Kennesaw. Give me Kennesaw. As much as it pains me, I gotta lean Kennesaw plus the big boatload of points. Kennesaw's been playing not bad football, and I just don't see Liberty all of a sudden deciding that we should just run right over Kennesaw in this one. So give me Liberty. All right, give me Kennesaw plus the boatload of points. I think Liberty wins that game, but asking to cover that big giant number, and a number they really haven't done that much covering of that number all season long. And then looking at the other one, Middle Tennessee taking on Jacksonville State. Ooh, another jam in that one. Boatload of points for Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State is the better team. They offensive wise should be able to run the ball. They run for 5.5 yards per carry, and defensively, Middle Tennessee gives up 4.7 yards per rush. 162 yards rushing does Middle Tennessee. Jacksonville State should run right over Middle Tennessee. Just hold on to the ball and pound it down their throat. Does Middle Tennessee? I'm going to go with Jacksonville State here. Lay the points. I think at home here, I think they can easily just hold on to the rock, keep it out of Middle Tennessee's offense, and I think they cruise to the 3-touchdown plus win there.
Rich Roddy loves to run up that score, no doubt about that.
He does.
Kennesaw State's down to QB3, but when you're averaging 39% completions, QB3 might be your best option at this point. The way it's going here for Kansas. I'm going to go over the total because Liberty could put up they could have put some points here. They're running the football for 6.5 yards a carry, 8.8 yards for pass attempt. So look for Liberty to get up there. QB3 may be the better quarterback based on these numbers. So look over there. And I'm with you there on Jacksonville State laying the big number. Blue Raiders terrible with turnovers, a -6 turnover margin. Vattilio, despite being an experienced quarterback, he likes to throw the picks. That's the concern there. But, man, when you look at the Gamecocks in the conference, man, they're putting up 58 points a game, rushing for 359 yards, 7 yards a carry. They have just been pounding the Conference USA this year. And our friend Blake from Tennessee says MTSU is terrible. So he would know because he's out there in that area. He is from Tennessee. So he would know. No doubt about that. And the passing game is working as well against the conference for Jacksonville State, completing 63% of their passes, 9 yards for pass attempt. Well, look here. Jacksonville State, by the way, at home, 7-2 the spread. So Rich Rod knows how to keep the boosters happy there. So we're going to go ahead and take Jacksonville State here, laying the number. All right, let's continue here on the 26th Morning Show. Here with you every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Now it's our first big card here from the NBA. We're going to do the NBA two at a time because it's the NBA, and we'll start here with these games here tonight. Opening night for all of these teams. We will have in this slot will be Pacers, Pistons, and Nets and Hawks.
Pacers, Pistons, Nets, and Hawks. I think Brooklyn. Give me a tough spot here for Brooklyn. Give me a tough season for Brooklyn here in this one. Atlanta usually plays their best hoops at home, and so for me, but not a lot of defense. We know Brooklyn doesn't play a whole lot of defense. Atlanta struggles to play defense. I think they play a little better defense at home here in this one. I like the over in that one. I think we get a track meet at 222.5. I'm going to take the over between the Nets and Brooklyn. I think Atlanta runs it up in that one. And then the Pacers, I want to take the Pacers. I believe that was at 3.5 last night. It's up to 5 now, Steve. So everybody's jumping up on the Pacers. So that number's getting to a point where it's like I might want to be taking a sprinkle with Detroit, but I got to see what Detroit's done. I know what they have done, and we need to see if they can gel and actually play as a team together. So we've seen it many a times that it's all on paper sometimes does not equate to what you get on the court with the Pistons. We've seen it year after year where it doesn't, where you're like, oh, this is the year. They should be doing good. And yeah, on paper, they look good. They should be a solid basketball team. But when it comes to what happens to the court, sometimes it doesn't equate. And what I know it does equate is the Pacers having solid. And as we've seen those two games yesterday with teams that are returning guys and that continuity, the continuity has been winning out. So I'm going to lay the 5 with the Indiana Pacers there in that one. They're just looking for bigger, better things from what they did last season onto this season and added a few pieces. Give me the Pacers in that one.
Yep. Ron says take the team with continuity over the team with multiple changes and coaching changes, right? They've got the coach there from JP Bishop that went coaching was fired from Cleveland last year despite winning a playoff series there. Looking here at the injury report, Isaiah Jackson questionable for Indiana, some reserves for Detroit. So the starters will be in there in this spot. But to me, I'm going to look over in this game. I agree with the move to the over. Detroit was a very poor defensive team last year, giving up 118 points per 100 possessions. And we know what Indiana likes to do. They like to push the pace. Now, we did see Indiana's pace of play slow down toward the end of the season because, remember, they were missing one of their big keys off the bench. Remember Benedict Mathurin got hurt. Mathurin's healthy now, so he's a key piece on this team. So with Mathurin back in there, I will go with the over in this one with Indiana and Detroit. And when you say Atlanta home favorite, I say, hell no, go the other. Take Atlanta's home favorite. No way, no how. Even there's no Murray there. The defense is just not good enough to lay that kind of points here. Well, listen, the Nets have a decent, they are projected to have the lowest season win total at 19.5. I think that's pretty much looking that they're going to be moving these veterans like Schroeder, like Cam Thomas. They've got guys here that are probably going to move. And that's the word here because, remember, they got rid of DeJounte Murray. They've got guys out here. I think they definitely want to move. Bogdanovich, by the way, will be out here for the Nets for Brooklyn in this spot. But we know the Hawks are looking to build around Trae Young again, but they do have some continuity with Capella, Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Hunter. We got Nance Jr. there on the bench. But again, it's the defense that concerns me with this Atlanta team. This is why they don't cover games. They're giving up 118 points per 100 possessions. The Nets defended better last year. Yeah, the Hawks. Yeah. Here's the Hawks when they're favored between 3.5 and 9.5 at home. 10-25 is the spread. That's that's how we'll look at that one. So we'll look at Brooklyn here plus the points. All right, we'll continue here on the 26th morning show. Take a look at the crowd. You didn't show today. Try telling them yesterday Lakers maybe a different team. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Lakers. It's game one in the books. They got more to play. Next series of games we will have Magic Heat, Bucks, and Sixers. Rod.
Yeah, and you look at the Magic taking on the Heat here in this one, and getting 2 points with the Magic. You know what? We've seen what the Magic did last season, and they improved. And then they dealt with injuries. All season long, dealing with injuries up and down, did the Magic. But it kind of was like the next man up. They definitely were cover machines at points last season, taking on Miami here in this one. You know what? I'm going to take the Magic outright. I think they can come into Miami and get that first season win. You want to see continuity. I think we see another step up from the Orlando Magic. So give me the Magic there on the money line over the Heat in that one. And then, you know me, I'm liking what Philadelphia looks like on paper. So I'm going to take the 76ers at home plus the 3.5. I think that's they got a shot to win that one outright. The Bucks, they made some moves and stuff. It's always going to be the Bucks. But I like 76ers at home here. I'm high on this Philadelphia team. And as a dog at home, yeah, I'll go with it. Give me the 76ers plus the points.
Right there. Right now, I'll be butting heads here in this one right away. I'm going to take Miami here minus the 2. This is a team with continuity as well. But the key here is you got a healthy hero and Butler here. And when they're healthy, I'll take them in the spot. Also, you're going to get the good defense here from Miami, holding teams 111 points per 100 possessions. They were 5th in defensive efficiency last year. I will look for them here. They do have depth off the bench with Jaquez and Jovic. So you want to see Jaquez make more threes. That's where they have their issues here. Boncaro, we know, is good, but a huge addition here for Orlando getting Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in free agency. That's huge. But I will look in that spot. And, of course, in the Bucks-Sixers game, the Bucks did play a little better defense when Doc Rivers came in. We knew that would happen. The issue here is your two of the big three are, again, in street clothes for this game. No Embiid, no Paul George in this game. And Milwaukee has about the deepest bench in the league, although it may not be an impact here in game one of the series. They were a pretty good offensive team under Doc. You got a full training camp with Doc. Doc likes to play the defense. So I'll look here at without the two big key players here for Sixers. I'll look here for Milwaukee in this spot. All right, let's continue here on the 26th morning show. Ready for the next two games here. We've got the Cavs, Raptors, Hornets, and Rockets.
Ooh, it's the Raptors home opener. I'm going the other way. Give me Cleveland in this one. Raptors beat up on the bad teams and get beat up by the good teams. So Cleveland's definitely the better team here in this one by the number. I just don't see Toronto sticking around in that one. I'm going to take the Cavs in that one. I think they win by 10 plus. And what was the other one you went to? Chicago, New Orleans?
Charlotte and Houston.
Charlotte and Houston. I like the under in that one. 229. Yeah, 229. I like the 229 and a half. I think that's too many points. I'm going to go with the under in that one. I believe we get into the 210s between these two teams scoring wise. I think 229 is just a touch too high. Give me the under 229 and a half in that one.
Yeah, from Rod. All right, I'll tell you what I think about these games here. I'm with you here on the Cavaliers. The key to the Cavaliers season is making sure they got Allen and Mobley healthy. Because when they're healthy, they can defend. Allen is a key contributor. He was not healthy last year for this team. They missed him dearly. Also, too, not in the lineup here for Toronto is Barrett Olenek. Toronto is very paper thin off the bench. And without Barrett and Olenek, it's going to be tough for them to be competitive here with this rotation. The Cavaliers are a really good defensive team, 7th in defensive efficiency last year. Kenny Atkinson takes over as head coach, promises to put more movement into the offense. Remember that offense last year with Bickerstaff, these guys were just standing around in Cleveland. So we're going to look for a little bit more movement here from this team. It looks like this is a rebuild around Scotty Barnes here for this Toronto team. They did sign him for 5 years. You're going to have him there for 5 years, Rod. Scotty Barnes. Quickly was signed to a deal. Remember, we talked about deal, right? Quickly made the most of his opportunity coming over from the Knicks. He was a bench player for the Knicks, became a starter in Toronto. He took advantage of it, got to a deal. But will he sign the deal and fade? From a reserve to a starter, now a big contract. Will he fade from that? And that's we'll see. Now that he got what he wanted. Now they got paid, right? We talked about that quickly trade last year, right? That was a huge move for him going there. But again, the key to me here is that you got Allen Mobley healthy in this spot. Charlotte, a team that could be on the improve, but man, you look the way Houston played the end of last season when they all matured, and that was Alperen Sengun got hurt late in the year, and it hurt their chance of getting the postseason. Alperen Sengun is back, got a big contract. Jabari Smith improved his shooting. They have some depth on the bench. Van Fleet, Green, Brooks round up that starting five. Houston, with the coach, a very good defensive team. Charlotte, very poor defensive, second to last in defensive efficiency. There we go, up 119 points per 100 possessions. They had a minus 10.5 net rating. A terrible team as a road dog of plus 3.5 to plus 9.5, 14-22 the spread here. And Houston is a home favorite, 15-6 the spread is a home favorite. I'll look for Houston here, minus the 7 to build off what they did late last season. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Spicks Morning Show as we continue here with NBA coverage on this Big 10 game card. We will go to the Bulls, Pelicans, Grizzlies, and Jazz, Rod.
Ooh, I'm gonna take the Grizzlies in that one. I'm not a fan of the Jazz this season. They're gonna struggle. I think they might be worse than the dead last team in the league. It looks like a mass exodus from Utah. It's just definitely not the same team we seen last season in Utah. And Memphis, hey, we got Morant is back. Desmond Bane is back. And with the addition of Edie in there as well, it's just how can you not go with Memphis there in that one? The line looks a little light at 3 for me. That's the only. Why is that only 3? Maybe because they're on the road, but either way,
Memphis has a lot of injuries, and we'll go.
They got a couple of injuries. Yeah, you got your GG Jackson's out, Jared Jackson's out,
Jaren Jackson, Kennard, the 3-point shooter. They got a lot of guys out there.
They got a few guys out. So that, I'm looking at that look at the depth going forward for this Memphis team. I'm still happy with the 5 that are going to play in this game compared to the 5 on the court for Utah. Give me Memphis.
Yeah, from Rob.
I'm not pass on the other one.
Yeah, that one is in question because of the injury status, right? We don't know, and there are injuries here. Boy, they get DeJounte Murray. He's already on the injury report here for the New Orleans. They acquired him last year. But Chicago, a clean injury report. Murphy out for New Orleans. Alvarado, Murray, and Zion are questionable. Zion has some sort of virus. I don't know if that's going around the team or not, but that's a concern here. Illness at game time. So when you got illness, that means you're probably going to sit. I mean, they don't want to take chances. You don't want that to spread. You don't want that to spread over everybody here.
It looks like it has.
Yeah, it may have spread around the team. That's the thing. No more DeRozan, no more Caruso for Chicago. Giddey is there. Team is going to lean heavily on Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic. Kobe White was a pretty good player. I like White. Lonzo Ball claims he's healthy. Maybe we'll see some contributions off the bench. McCollum and Ingram are back here. Remember, Ingram is in a contract year for New Orleans. Remember that. There, will he get his shots now that they added? They brought in some guys. We'll see. The Pelicans were a good defensive team last year, but again, the injuries have me concerned. But you know what? Chicago has the offense to stay within this number, so I'll take them here at that plus price. If you can find 6.5, yeah, give me the 6.5 with the Bulls. They have enough offense early in the season. Nobody's injured. They have a clean injury report, so I'll take them in that spot. Utah and Memphis, man, the angle early on with Utah last year as a home dog. Their money as a home dog, a 6-point or fewer, 19-6 to the spread. Also, the Jazz 13-4 to the spread at home against the Southwest Division. Grizzlies on the road against the Northwest Division, 2-15 to the spread. Again, we've got a lot of injuries here. Jaren Jackson to score, GG Jackson to score, Kennard's a 3-point shooter. That's a lot missing there. Although John Morant's return, they're not the most accurate shooters on this Memphis team. You got Smart, Desmond Bane back, Zach Edey back, lost some weight. How is he going to handle the elevation of Utah, right, in a fast-paced game? That's still the concern. Will Zeddy slow down this team? Now that you have a fast-paced team. You got 80. Remember in college, it was a 40-minute game. You were kind of pretty much playing, and you played it slow. You've got Sexton in there. You got Kennedy George on the other side. Will push the pace, and when you got a big guy like that, the opponents are going to want to push the ball, try to avoid the allowing the Memphis to set defensively, try to wear down this big guy. So I'm going to be looking here at Utah again, that home dog spot where they were really money last year until they got hurt, and that went away. But I'll take the home dog here with Utah +3 because that's money. That's a money play there. It has hit over time when the team is healthy, and we saw that again last year early in the season. Jazz home dog made you money. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Six Morning Show. Next up, we got Suns and Clippers, Warriors and Trailblazers.
Yeah, look at this one. Clippers home opener to kick off their year in the new arena, and everybody's out. Maybe not everybody, but good chunk of guys out. No Kawhi Leonard in this one, no Tucker in that one, no Mo Bamba. So it'll be the James Harden show against Phoenix. So look, Booker, Beal, Durant, Nurkic. That lineup can definitely beat up on the Clippers. That was at 5, I believe. The 5.5 is starting to pop up. You'll probably see a 6.5 before game time on this game, because I think everyone's going to jump on the Suns here in this one. So if you like the Suns, get on it quick. If you want to wait on the Clippers and the Harden show, then wait a little bit, because that line I think goes up again. I think you probably find a 6 later on in the afternoon. But I think the Suns are too much. I think they win by 10+. They look like the healthier team in this spot, and Suns would love nothing better than to spoil the home opener to the Clippers. So give me the Suns there in that one. And then the last one on the spot, I'm going to go with the under. You're looking to be the first time in years since no Trae Thompson for the Warriors versus Portland in that one. And that total, I think it's just a touch too high pace-wise. I think it's a slower-paced game with Portland. And we get under that total. Give me the under there.
Under there from Rod. We'll be butting heads here. The Suns Clippers. I'm going to take the Clippers here because of the defensive guys here. The offense will be the issue here for the Clippers in support of James Harden, but LA has their defensive guys still there, and they can keep within this big number here. The Suns, a team that had issues defensively, give up 114 points per 100 possessions. We know we got Budenholzer in as head coach. He's a defensive-minded coach. May take some time for the Suns to really play into that defensive system that they're looking for. We know Leonard's going to miss multiple games. This is the home opener for the Clippers. And I will say this because they moved away from crypto. They have their own building now, which is a pretty impressive place. They got some really good fan support there. Of course, we'll see what the enthusiasm's like. I've already seen some videos of the place. Now with these YouTubers get out there and show you the whole place, show you the whole the fan base, talk to the fans and whatnot. They're happy the Clippers have their own arena, but they're a little reserved because of the injury to our man Kawhi Leonard and George exiting the team. But I just think the defense can keep them in this one. The Suns' defensive numbers were not very good last year, although I think they will be better over time. This is a team, again, changing coaches. Budenholzer is a coach that's going to want them to play defense, so this is going to be a big change over Vogel. And the issue here with the Suns is they shot the three well, but they just didn't shoot enough of them. They settled for too many of those mid-range jumpers, and that's what got Vogel fired. In this year of analytics, hey, guy, get these guys shooting threes, more threes. Budenholzer says he will. But, again, this may take some time to develop. So I'll look for the defense here. I'm not going to tell you to take the money line of the Clippers, but I think they can stay within this number just based on the defense. I'm going to look here at Portland plus the points because they're healthy, and Chauncey Billups isn't playing games with this lineup, playing guys. I mean, I couldn't believe how many guys he would sit last year. But when you've got them healthy, they can be competitive at home. No doubt about that. We know Thompson's now a Maverick. Chris Paul also exits. Hield comes back. Hield's now with the Warriors. We'll see. I'm always nervous when I see Hield because he's all offense, no defense, and that's the one worry I worry about. Hield, of course, Anderson, and Melton will try to add some bench depth. Kuminga and Wiggins come back. Wiggins did not have an off-shooting year last year. Scoot Henderson, here's a guy who had a horrible start but really came on late last season. So Henderson, we were kind of thinking he might have been a bust, actually turned around late in the year last year after the All-Star break. So Henderson's game's improved. Simon joins him in the backcourt. And an interesting note, no one really talks about this, but I thought this guy was decent in Washington, was Avija. Avija comes over from the Washington team, and I think he'll be a good addition there with Jeremy Grant. Also, DeAndre Ayton is healthy, and he is a really good a rim protector. He's another one that they played games with, but they were sitting him out at the end of the season, and I don't think he was even injured. So you got the rim defender. Avija's going to help you rim defend. I think Portland may be a little better defensively now with Avija and Ayton healthy here.
So I like the under.
The under there. I think you see the acquisitions here. They might be a spot here. I think defensively they may be able to cover this number against a Warriors team that's there's a lot of new acquisitions, a lot of new faces here. This is a team with a lot of changes, a little bit more continuity here with Portland, really in this spot other than Avija. But Avija is really not an offensive guy. He's more of a defensive guy. And I like the fact you can have Avija and Ayton defending the rim here. So I'll go ahead and take Portland and plus the points. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Fix Morning Show. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. We want you live with us so you guys can get the plays as we get them out here. Yeah, somebody was harsh on Jorge today. Jorge had some sharp words here for the Lakers yesterday. Jorge's not here on Wednesdays, by the way, so I know they were wondering about him today. You know what happens here. These fans very, very vocal in the NBA. When you go against their teams, you'll see that in the comments too. You do get a lot of pushback from some of the commenters, sometimes going a little too far, but we get it. Some of these a lot of passion here in the NBA. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Fix Morning Show. We now turn our attention to the single game from the NHL as we're going to see a back-to-back spot, home and home series. Flyers and Capitals, Rod. We see the Caps favored about $1.40, total of 6 goals.
Yeah, you look at this one, and it is back-to-back spots, so tough here. We seen a 4-1 game yesterday, and the only difference here, we're going to have a couple different goalies. Logan Thompson going to get the start for Washington, and you look at Philadelphia, it's going to be their Russian goalie getting the start. He's been awful, absolutely awful. He's got like a 5 goals against average. His save percentage is 880. I think he's pretty close to dead last in the NHL. They expect big, great things from him, but it's like one of those things that he just doesn't. He's like 6'7" and a beast, and he just doesn't. He's not in the right position, not in the right spot. He gives up goals. It's awful, and Philadelphia just looked dead tired yesterday. So I'm going to take the over. I know it was 4-1 yesterday, but that Philadelphia goalie is a little civvy at times. I know Logan Thompson, he's got to beat his butt, and he's playing lights out hockey. Is Logan Thompson as the backup? He wants that first string job because he wants to prove to Vegas that you guys shouldn't have let me go. You let the wrong guy go. So it is what it is there. I like the over with the lead to Washington as well.
Yeah, from Rod. All right, we got you through here in the NBA, NHL, and college football. Now it's time for our Parlay Peripheral segment. We'll go over to Rod.
We're going to go lay the points with the Pacers. We're going to take the under between the Warriors and Portland. And we're going to take the Gamecocks, take Jacksonville State minus the 20.5. I think they win by 4 touchdowns in that one. As the third leg. 3-teamer.
There we go. I'll give you a 3-team underdog parlay NBA. Give me the Hawks plus not the Hawks. What am I talking about? A home dog. I'm the road dogs here. Dogs. Hawks plus the points. Clippers, the home dog plus the points. Trailblazers plus the points. Home dogs there on a 3-teamer home dog parlay here from me here on the Tony Fix Morning Show. All right, we got you through our parlay peripheral segment. Now it's time to see what Rod has for sale over at Tony'sFix.com. Heading to a big NBA day. Of course, we got college football. Heading to a big week as NFL returns, as we know, tomorrow. And of course, Rod enjoying great results here at Tony'sFix.com. 1,448 units of profit. All document over at Tony's Fix. Rod, what do you got for sale?
And over at sale at Tony's Fix today, I've got one play. I got my NHL sniper play going. We crushed it yesterday with the Vancouver Canucks in that one. So definitely scoop up that NHL sniper play. I'm going to have a couple NBA plays as we've gone through these here a little more in deeper depth. I'm going to keep looking at some more of this information and news, and I'll have a couple more plays in for the NBA here shortly within this hour here for sure. I'm going to throw in a couple more. And as Tony said, I'm going to stay away from the college football. Definitely staying away from the college football today. But I'll have a 3-pack, so definitely keep on the lookout for it. Your best bet, join me long term for the rest of the week. There's so much action going. We got more NBA, more NHL, more college football. NFL's right around the corner too. So to start another week, jump aboard one of that week-long pass. Pair me up with Tony. We've been hot. So 2-for-1 capper promotional. Can't go wrong at Tony'sPicks.com. Definitely good having 2 cappers putting money in your pockets. And we've both been hot making you money. So jump aboard over at Tony'sPicks.com. Don't forget that Tony T pick at checkout. That'll save you 15% off your purchases over at Tony'sPicks.com.
That's right. Use that code Tony T at checkout. That'll save you 15% off all premium pick packages. And of course, get the link in the description over to Tony'sPicks.com. You'll find Rod on leaderboards. So click this link there and get on board. You can see Rod having a great year at Tony'sPicks.com. And for 2024, remember, all long-term subscribers include the late Steam plays. So we allow our cappers, we get your regular member plays in there by 11 a.m. Eastern time, but they can continue capping throughout the day because with the late Steam, those plays will be emailed directly to your inbox using the email you used when you signed up. And of course, that the late Steam get with the minimum 3-day all sports pass includes all late Steam plays from Rod there. So with no better time to get on board. Of course, early in the week, that 7-day pass will get you all the NFL and college football. NHL World Series starts on Friday. So let's get on board there with Rod over at Tony'sPicks.com. Having a great year, guys. So get on board. 2-for-1 cap promotions in play as well. I have a best bet on the board right now from NBA, or you can also get on board. Again, long-term pass. I'm having a great NFL year, guys. So get on board with my 7-day pass. We'll get you covered for the NFL for this week, as well as NBA, the World Series, as well as college football. No doubt about that here. As we'll have action free here on the board. All right, Rod, before we close it out, you have any closing thoughts?
I believe in magic. Yes, I do. I do. I like the Magic today. I think they make improvements. I know the Heat are going to be a solid game. It's going to be a good game. I'm definitely tuning into that one. Lean to an under, too. Both those teams can play some defense. So I think it's a 209, I believe it is. Might be 208. But I think the first 100 wins that one. I kind of like the under there in that one. Should be a good defensive battle between those two. It's like the battle
we'll see how Pope fits into the system.
Yeah, I think he fits right in there. I think he'll fit right in with the Magic and have no issues. I like that addition there for Orlando.
Yeah, remember they have almost like 2 starting lineups because they were ravaged with injuries prior to last season. They had a lot of playing experience for the bench here with Orlando. Of course, it was disappointing to see they couldn't win a road game in the playoffs last year. But the Heat issue here, interesting to see how Jimmy Butler, he's a year older. Pat Riley got on him last year. He told him to shut up. You're not playing, just shut your mouth. You don't need to talk about our team if you're not playing. So we'll see if there's any. Although has been some issues. There are some videos on video there where Butler a couple years ago threatened to fight the coach in a timeout one time, and I remember the coach. You want to fight with me? Like looked at him funny, like like Butler wanted to throw blows with him or something because the coach for the Heat was being a little, giving him some criticism. May not have been constructive. You know what happens in the heat of the battle sometimes with coaches, right? They're not. They may not. They may just go off the edge sometimes, but. There was some heat there, but he's got some heat with Riley because Pat Riley just the old school guy is you're not playing, you just shut your mouth. That's just the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's the old school way, right? Hey, zip it. We don't want to hear from you. You're on the bench.
Yep. But again, this is the healthiest I've ever seen, man. We'll see how it rolls. But looking forward to this NBA. Looking for a good year. Of course, the Pacers fully healthy. Remember, they went to the Western Conference Finals last year, got eliminated. No one's really talking too much about him, but I think Mathurin's a good addition. Healthy. Now that he's healthy, let's see what this team will do if they can stay healthy. Of course, Rod, be interested to see how pace of play was. Remember, last year's pace was crazy to start the year last year.
Pace of play was crazy to start last season. None the least to see. Let's see if they keep up that pace or not. I'm curious to see what Detroit does. I really am. On paper, they always look like they got a bunch of pieces. If these guys gel and go together, we should have a good, solid team. But it doesn't always equate that way. But to what you see on paper doesn't always equate to what you actually see on the court. It doesn't always transition so well when you look at these guys with numbers and you're like, "Oh, this looks pretty good." Sometimes it doesn't. That's why, for me, I'm some guys jump right into the NBA, go all in,
Yeah.
and go massive. No, I'm not that type of guy. I need to watch and see a little bit. I definitely watch these games, and I need to see how teams gel together. And so I'm light this first little start of the first couple of weeks. I need to see how teams play, and then I'll deep dive and get in. You'll see me with a 3-pack in the NHL, a 3-pack in the NBA, 3-pack college football, 3-pack NFL. Don't worry, I'm a higher volume guy. Once we get some numbers and data to work with on my systems, it's
because as you know, new coaches comes new systems, right? Will the players adapt to it? Can they play to it? It's different. It's not like the NFL where you can cut players and find system guys. It's usually like Belichick says, always looking for the system guys. And what happens there is in the NBA there are no system guys because you kind of unless you look at some of the guys at the end of the bench, these guys are signed on usually long-term contracts. So it's a coach having to get the guys that play in their system in the NBA.
That's why, yeah, exactly. You got sometimes players go to a new system. They have new teammates around them. It takes a bit for these things to gel. So some of them prop numbers, same wise. You're looking like, whoa, he could go well over that. Well, he might not have the same guy that's passing the ball that he did last year. That's racked him up with those points. So I tread lightly to kick off the year until we get some numbers. And then NBA is that, for me, it's that sport that once you got some numbers, those numbers stay consistent. They don't vary a whole lot of difference what they do per game. Per averages, once they start going, usually you get a pretty steady average. Maybe you have a little blip where they have a little jolt in the game, but most of the time those numbers stay pretty consistent. Do players.
Yeah, and as head coach, remember JJ Redick was a 3-point shooter, right? So we'll see. Remember Kerr was a 3-point shooter. So maybe there was something. Maybe you want a 3-point shooting guy as your head coach because he's got that 3-point mentality. You can teach it to the players and run systems to get those 3-pointers out.
Exactly, because that's the way the NBA has been going. Is more 3-pointers is what they want. They kept talking about some 4-point play, like moving that line up just a little bit farther, and maybe you'll have, instead of a 3-point shot, you'll have a 4-point shot going in some of these games with. And I'm sure there's one guy that Steph Curry's going, yeah, bring it on! I love the 4-point play. So 3-point shooter there, definitely. So. It's one of those things. How do you increase scoring in basketball? Oh yeah, you put the 4-point play in there. So we'll see what going forward. More teams are hucking up the 3, and I think Indiana was one of those teams that did love the 3 as well. Chuck, and then if that 3 doesn't hit, man, you can lose some games really ugly.
Oh yes, that's the key. You got to make them.
Yeah, you got to make them. Yeah, and at a good constant level, because if you're not, man. You just give the other team the other way, and they drive right down, and they just lay it into the basket as you're trying to shoot a 3.
We'll see how the rookies come in. Of course, Zach Edey was the favorite to be rookie of the year, but we'll see how he plays under this Memphis system. That was a big. Everybody scratched their head when he got drafted. How is he going to fit into this fast-paced style that Memphis wants to play with John Run? How is he going to play in this system? Now it's a 48-minute game instead of a 40-minute game. And again, you're not playing Big Ten style basketball. Now you're playing this NBA run and gun type. So that's something to keep an eye on.
But I think he's been training all off season. In a couple of interviews, he said that I got to lose some weight. This is a way faster game than what the college is. And I think it will. I think he does good. I think he's the type of guy that will motivate, put in the work, and grind his game out. I'm looking forward to see what he does. I think he has a solid season. Solid enough to put him rookie of the year? I don't know. Maybe.
He was not going to get the points. You know that in that center position, he's not going to get the point. So it's John Morant, unless he does pick and roll, or they do some rebounding numbers are crazy, putbacks. Dalton can next one in there. I think that now we're going to see some of the rookie class and see how they roll here. But remember, first 2 games of the season, continuity wins and covers.
Continuity wins
and the Celtics. Early on.
Yeah, until teams start to gel and get better, we know how that goes. It's usually the teams. Look at the Oilers. They changed so many guys, and they're off to a crappy start. Mm-hmm. And then look at the Rangers. They didn't change anything, and they're out flying. Jets, same thing. Didn't change a whole lot, flying. It's how it works in sports. You got to watch for that too, definitely.
For early season sports
season. Yeah, early season sports teams that didn't change a whole lot. They just get better.
Yep. And you see that, and of course in the college game, there's always continuity with the, but we're just focusing here on the pros, guys. So in colleges, we'll keep an eye. Maybe that'd be the case too. We've been tracking it more here in pros, where we're seeing continuity really matter here in the
college. It happens too. If a team full of more seniors, over redshirt freshmen, I'll take the team with much more seniors over the freshman team. The freshman team might be a little bit faster sometimes, but hey, I'll take the senior team that's been there, done that. And I just find college players just different to a hoop. They just go out and hoop.
Yeah, that's what they do.
They don't have so much drama around them. And then the NBA sometimes they get distracted. As long as you stay not distracted, you're good.
Yep, no doubt about that. All right. That's going to do it for this edition of the 26 Morning Show. Back tomorrow live here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern with more free picks. We'll have NHL. NBA's got a board up there, some more college football. And, of course, Rod, what do you got up there on the 26 YouTube channel?
And tonight we just got the one play going for the NHL. So I definitely got a short up there for you. Every game going, I'll have you covered. So bigger card tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. I'll have you covered on those shorts wise on any NHL game going. So if you're always looking for that one crappy game like the Sharks taking on the Ducks yesterday, definitely I'll have you covered on that one. Ducks win again, of course. It's now 16th straight. 16th straight. 16th straight now. The Sharks love to end teams losing streaks. When teams are on losing streaks to face the Sharks, they're like, here you go, have a win. There you go. Now you're on a winning streak. That's what they do. So definitely check out the archive videos. I got you covered there. Any game on the NHL. Usually throw a parlay out there if there's a bigger card on NBA. Once we start going, as I said, I might have an NBA parlay for you.
Parlay. Well. You get those parlays on the weekends from Rod NFL. We see that.
Yeah, exactly. Once you need it's as I said. For me, I don't dive into NBA early. Give me a couple weeks on the NBA, and then I'll have a lot more plays for you going.
Yep, a lot of changes, coaching changes, a lot of player changes, and because we know the continuity teams we can handicap pretty well, but the other half of the teams that made the massive changes, that takes some time.
So that's what it is. It's you find those spots where you think the team's going to be just as good as what they were last year and make that improvement. So, yeah, and sometimes the preseason prognostication, sometimes right, sometimes wrong. How much impact did the talk in the preseason have with the in season? You know, it's because Calgary's going to be bad. You know, everyone talks about that. And I'm the other way. I like it when teams. You as a person, if someone talks down to you and says, "Hey, that's horrible. You can't do that. That's the worst. You stink at that." What happens? You're like, "What?" You want to be like, I can do that, and I can do it even better than what you just said. And you get a B in your mind, you get all that. You're like, yeah. And then you get better. That's what Calgary did. So sometimes don't follow what somebody else's opinion is on one of those prognostications. We've seen, I'm going to go out on a limb and say all those prognostications. Have any of them come to fruition? Very well.
One of the biggest
we said Oakland was going to be the biggest disappointment.
Right.
Oakland made people a lot of money.
Right. Oh yeah. And look at BYU.
BYU, another team. Yeah. Dead last.
20 to 1.
They're horrible.
20 to 1. Yeah.
And now look what they're doing. They're winning games.
The Commanders, I don't know what people, there was somewhere mixed on them.
So who's dead last this year? Maybe we should bet them to kickstart the season in the NBA. Who's dead last?
Yeah.
We got Brooklyn. Oh, yeah, and you're on them. See, Brooklyn plus 6.5 tonight.
Well, I'm just thinking they're going to play well because, these players are playing for contracts and some of them are looking to, they're probably going to move some of these guys to tank. But, we'll see how it rolls. But they still have a decent starting five and they can compete still. So it's not like
exactly. You still got guys that want to compete for a job.
Same thing with the Bulls. We thought the Bulls were going to tank when they made those moves for draft picks, right? They moved out players, but
and they still have Levine. It's like we've seen it plenty of times where teams have moved out and put in that next guy up. Sometimes he's like, "Yeah, I got my opportunity, woo!" And so he tries even harder and gives a bigger effort. I look for that when that next man up. Sometimes that next man out, we see it in college football too. That QB goes down, and people are like, "Oh no, the quarterback's down! Oh no!"
Oh yeah, and
again, that second stringer guy is better than the first stringer. So
I wonder if there's going to be enough balls in New Orleans with Murray and McCollum and Ingram on a contract here. That's something to keep an eye on because Ingram is going to be super hyper aggressive this year to get those numbers up because he's on a contract here. That's something to see there. We got all these shooters here. You met Dejounte Murray comes over. You got McCollum, now Ingram in the play. Zion likes to take some shots. Will there be enough balls for New Orleans, especially when you got a player here like Ingram? His impact is huge on this team on a contract here. Well, it's interesting to see how this develops as we move throughout the NBA season. You always keep an eye on those contract years as we get closer to All-Star break. Teams are making moves well before the All-Star break. So my recommendation is make a move before everyone's in there trying to make a move. We saw Dallas do that. They made a huge move early on.
But don't wait till the last minute to try to make moves. It just usually doesn't bode so well.
No, Dallas was the first one, and of course, when they got into the NBA Finals with that big move they made, they went into to get that Charlotte shooter there, PJ Washington. Right, that was the first move, and that was the best move, right? Because that got him into the finals. So you always you don't want to wait too long when you want to make a change around Christmas. Don't wait for the trading deadline because you got every team in there looking, was shopping. Right, you want to go.
Yeah, everybody's shopping. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
it's just like Christmas. Nobody wants to shop on Christmas Eve or that last week because you're fighting everybody to try to get in there, right? So you get things done early and you don't have to fight the crowd.
Dallas got the PJ Wayward.
Find your guy, get him early, and then you're good to go, right?
PJ Washington move. So some of those teams, you got to do it early. Don't wait too late because then you're competing with, like I said, you're fighting them all. Everyone's trying to grab the same player. They're fighting for them.
Right here it comes.
You got 3 or 4 arms on the same. You got 3 or 4 arms on one player trying to pull for them. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So you don't want to do that. All right,
guy, one arm. No, he's mine. No, he's mine.
yeah, get in early, guys. Dallas was smart. I got to give Dallas credit, man. They got in there. We weren't expecting move. They made a move. Wait, the trade deadline's not for another month and a half. No, but they were smart. They got ahead of it, man. They got ahead of it. Yeah, that was a smart move there by Dallas. All right, that's going to do it for the show, guys. We're going to wake up. Bye, guys. You guys making a winning day. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show.